Yo, yo. Nice.
We're here. We're back.
We are back. We're back for a little mini one.
Just the two of us.
Hey, you know. The two who matter. You know?
Oh,
hey,
shots fired
shots
at Cody.
fired at
directly at his face.
Point blank range, my dude.
And he's not here to defend himself, so.
So, yeah, shoot away. That's right, commies. If you have anything negative to say about Cody Cannon, now is the time to do so.
Yeah, this is the week. Send us all the negative hate comments
comment,
about Cody.
Comment in this comment section the most negative shit you can think about Cody.
We should put this episode out on Cody's birthday.
Oh, dude, wait. Seriously, let's fucking do that. Like, without him knowing, don't tell him.
Right. Yeah.
Just you and me. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. As we mentioned before, a special, just half-baked episode with Anthony and I. Cody Cannon is not here, and that's because today is Cody Cannon's birthday. And for his birthday, we got him a little surprise from an old guest of ours.
Cody, I have to say happy birthday. I'm shocked that you made it to your birthday, but the fact that you did gives me faith in humanity. And I hope you have an incredible birthday. I hope you have a sober birthday. Not really. Have fun for your birthday, Cody. I'm thinking about you. Everyone's thinking about you. We all love you, Cody. Happy birthday from Rodney.
Incredible.
Nice.
Fucking happy birthday from Rodney Bartz.
Yeah,
so
dude.
Cool.
Oh, man, yeah. That's right, you guys. That was returning guest Rodney Barnes wishing Comics Chronics host Cody Cannon a happy birthday. And seriously, if you are listening, go wish him a happy birthday right now, today. Hit him up on Instagram. Check out his comedy videos. He's killing it right now in the comedy game. Yeah, and just say happy birthday.
Yeah, make this Cody Cannon's one good day.
Yeah. Ooh. I feel like now we have to write a Cody Cannon comic, a one good day version.
Everything's going right for Cody.
Yeah. Well, nice. That was a good segue.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Comics Chronic, everyone. Anthony Iannaccio and I, Jacob H., are here today.
What up?
We are covering one of DC Comics' run they've been doing over the past, I don't know, what would you say, like 7-8 months?
Yeah, it's been like one a month, it feels like, yeah.
Yeah, because I think in total, with the Ra's al Ghul one, it'll be like 8 of them total.
Yeah, exactly.
So today we are covering Batman One Bad Day, Clayface, #1, by Collin Kelly and Jackson Lanzing, with a few other artists in between, Xermanico, Romulo, Fajardo Jr.
Nice.
Nice to pronounce that correctly.
Great art, great writing, team.
Dude, seriously, I loved it. Out of all, this is one of my favorite of the One Bad Days so far.
I agree. I completely agree.
We covered Riddler One Bad Day, which we both loved. I loved it.
Yeah.
I think this was awesome.
Yeah, this is right up there along with it. I've been reading all of them, and really, like, I think I might have said this in another episode, but I think most of them are hits. They're fun to read. They're like nice little vignettes of each character. You know, Batman pops up in all of them, but the focus isn't Batman, which is really cool. Like, it's really just the villain that's presented. And all of them get like really. I love how personal this one is for Clayface.
Super personal
and relatable in a lot of ways. I mean, especially I feel like for you too, since you're out in LA.
Honestly, like whoever wrote it, I guess it's Collin Kelly, right? Or yeah,
Lanzing and Kelly. Yeah, so it's two writers. They're a team. They right now they write Captain America. There's like a Sam Wilson Captain America series and a Steve Rogers Captain America series concurrently. And they also did a really cool Kang miniseries, which I highly recommend. Really good.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're great. I like them, yeah.
So is this artist and writer team?
No, it's two writers. Like they're a combo.
Okay,
like it's always them together. Yeah. The artist, like you said, is Xermanico. I don't really know their art too well, but I love the art too. But yeah, that writing team is cool.
Nice. That's sick. Oh, that's cool. It's a writing team. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. I was like, when I was reading it, I was like, dude, whoever wrote this has like legit lived in LA for at least a little bit.
Right. They had to have. I bet they started off as screenwriters.
I wouldn't be surprised. Screenwriters and like, even like, yeah, just the whole audition thing. It was very like super relatable for like anyone that's ever come out here to be an actor or an entertainment. Like, this is what it feels like. And, dude, yeah, no, I loved it. It was like incredibly personal. It almost makes you feel really bad for Clayface.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's supposed to carry off of, so like when Rebirth happened, there was Detective Comics, and Detective Comics was like a Bat family team, but it was like Batwoman, Robin, Tim Drake, Robin. You had fucking Orphan, right?
Yep.
You had Batgirls, or I think Duke was on there, yeah. But then you also had Spoiler, and then you had Clayface as a good guy, which was wild.
It was awesome,
and it worked really well.
It worked super well.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't know if that informs this, but that's when I really became like a huge Clayface fan, and that's a James Tynion book, and we love James Tynion here, but I think this story is like might have become my favorite Clayface story.
Nice. I know what you mean. I would say the same thing. I just love that Batman detective run from Rebirth. That was like a solid Rebirth run.
Yes, one of my favorites.
And I also was a huge fan of Clayface being on the Bat family team because it did work. Like, they pulled it off. I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, who would have thought, you know? And what I also going back, you read the Batman Earth 1 books, right?
Yes. Just the first volume, actually. Sorry, I only read the first one.
Oh, man. Well, in the third volume, he kind of like teams up with Killer Croc. Like, Killer Croc's now, it's like him and Croc.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it worked. Like, read it before you judge it, because like reading it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But it works because it's also like Batman is kind of like reforming these criminals.
Yeah, okay, so that was my point about Detective Comics. Like, Clayface, they actually reform him, and he's actually trying to turn his life around. Like, as hard as it is, he's trying. This one, he's not trying that hard, or at all.
Well, he's trying, but he's going about it in the shadiest, like... I love this book. I feel like I'm going to jump around, but we'll give a brief synopsis.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Clayface, he's out in Los Angeles, and he's pursuing, as we know, Basil Carlo as an actor. So he's pursuing his acting career, and he's doing the typical actor thing out in LA, you know, odd jobs. He's going on auditions. Fucking, he has friends that want to be screenwriters. He has friends that want to be actors. He's a waiter at a restaurant, which actually brings me to something I want to bring up before I forget it. That whole opening scene when he's the waiter at the restaurant, and you see like different directors and shit.
Yeah,
there's a line that makes me think of Cody because this dude with sunglasses says, "It never rains in LA, baby."
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Like, when I read it in Cody's voice when he says "baby."
And it's also cool that you brought up that line because it'll come into play later on at the very end.
Yeah. Oh shit, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
And I only just connected those dots, by the way. And when Clayface, it starts raining, and Clayface says the line to Batman. He says, "You brought the rain with you."
Yeah. Oh shit, you're right. That's good. Nice.
But it feels like more than just like a literal, you know. It feels like Clayface, like being like, "You just ruined it." That's how it like. Maybe that's how it becomes his one bad day, but we know it's his one bad day because he killed 8 people.
Oh, you think that's why? I don't think it. Like, well, that's that how weighs
Batman
heavily
explains
on
it.
Yeah, that's how Batman. But I kind of agree with your original sentiment. Like, Clayface is a criminal. He's obviously killed a bunch of people since he's been in LA.
Yeah.
But like, his one bad day is like when Batman exposes him to all these LA people, and he was like
his dream is ruined.
His dream is ruined because he was being a scumbag and murdering people, but he was leaving a life of crime in the only way that Clayface knows how to.
Yeah.
And Batman took that away.
But also, it's just so cool, like, and it's what the story's about, but it's what he's literally doing. Like, you know, everyone in LA or in the Hollywood, in the business, you're like, you become like a social climber, and like you're taking out the people. It's like he says, the bigger fish eat the smaller fish. Yeah. And like, he's not only taking these people out, he's assuming their identity, literally, you know, taking their place in the chain. And it's still not enough because the system just keeps, you know, destroying him.
Dude, what it's also funny, it's like he also kind of like low-key sucks as an actor.
Right, that's another thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he auditions, and I love that scene is funny. Is when he's in the audition, and the lady's like, "Oh, can you give us like another take and play it more like serious?" Or she says something, and remember he's he's
punch it up.
Yeah, punch it up. And he's like, "This isn't some stupid comedy. I'm a trained actor." Like it was both like a great play of like him being this like douchey LA actor, as well as like when he like slams his fist on the table and he's like, "Ugh." And she's like, "Okay, thank you. We'll call you." You know,
right? Yeah, and I love how you slowly see him start to lose it.
Yeah,
yeah, and his friend gets the job. Yeah,
yeah. I like seeing him start to lose it in this comic is great.
And it's funny, at first you don't know what he's auditioning for, and then when he eventually goes out for the role, it's The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
It's a movie version of The Killing Joke.
You're right. That's so sick.
And they want it to be not serious, which is even funnier.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And he's like you're going back to how he explains, like, you know, how he understands the role. Like, this is a man who's tortured. Like, it really would be how it makes more sense. It's like the more, like, the writing's great, but the people in the story are just like, nah, this sucks.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, from our perspective, like, it's cool too, because we know, I mean, I don't know if we're supposed to think like he just started off in LA recently, or that he's still this Basil Carlo from, like, you know, the 50s or the 40s, who's like this famous actor who's still around this whole time. Either way, it's a cool updated version of how he would function like in Hollywood now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Is he supposed to be like the old time actor from the 50s and whatever?
That's the thing with these One Bad Day stories. Like, we're not quite sure if
I
it's
like that. It leaves
canon.
it open for your
cool.
imagination and interpretation to be like, to fit it in where you want it, as far as like what you know of the canon of Batman.
Right. Because, I mean, in the story, you know, he's having flashbacks to Gotham and remembering Batman beating him and like.
Yep.
So that's why I was thinking about Detective Comics. Like, if that happened, it adds more weight to it, because Batman kind of has this conversation with him. He's like, this is like you crossing the line. Like, it's over now. There's no rehabbing this. Like, that's what it seemed like. He doesn't quite say those words, but that's how it felt. Like, you know, there was definitely a past, but I don't know how much past. So I filled in those blanks, like you're saying, from what I knew in the past.
Yeah.
Which I should also say shouldn't affect your reading of the story, in the sense that anyone could pick this up. Clayface is just, you know, you don't need any canon to appreciate the story at all.
None at all. I liked it. It works great as a one shot. All these One Bad Days, and it's funny, like, yeah, they all have been for the most part hits. And even I wouldn't even describe them as misses. There are just some that are stronger than others.
Absolutely agree. Yeah.
Like, but I don't think any of them. I'm glad I bought each of them. Like,
Hell yeah.
Like,
something cool that's coming out is a box set. Like, I think each of these are coming out with a hardcover version. Either way, it's going to be, it's good. You're going to be spending some money to get the whole set in one collection. But they're coming out with like a box set, and within the box set, and only in the box set, you could get a copy of The Killing Joke. Like, it's an extra, but it's a reprinted version of the original colors of The Killing Joke, which is a big contention in the comic book community. Like, when they reprint a lot of books, and especially The Killing Joke, they change how the colors, and it's for the worse, a lot of people would think. Like, you have to see them side by side and judge for yourself, basically.
Really?
Yeah, but I would agree that the original colors of The Killing Joke, like, it just makes it feel like more of like that. It fits the tone better. But I just think it's a cool addition, whether or not you know that or not. You just get a copy of The Killing Joke with all these other cool stories, which, like we're saying, are all really good.
I have a hardcover reprinted version of The Watchmen, and it looks great.
Nice. Yeah, same here. I have so many copies of The Watchmen. I have Absolute Deluxe Edition.
I don't like to buy, honestly, more than one. Yeah, I don't like copies.
Certain books. And Watchmen, it's because, like, when I first bought it, it was paperback. Then I eventually got the hardcover, but then I saw the Absolute, like, you know, one day, and I was like, ooh, you know, the Absolute's bigger. It has all these extras. Just, you know, you have some Absolutes. Yeah. Those are really cool.
Oh, they're great. I love them.
I'm not going to buy the Absolute for everything, but certain things like Watchmen, hell yes.
Well, I originally bought hardcover Alex Ross's Justice. I lent it to Cody, and I think he lent it to his friends, and they lost it. So it gave me the excuse to buy the Absolute Justice.
Yeah.
I was like, sweet. And then I had my original version of Watchmen was paperback. I lent it to my brother, and he, like, you know, bent the shit out of it. And I was like, dude, I don't even want this. So then it gave me the perfect excuse to go buy a hardcover, nicer version.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I think we're exactly the same way.
I don't like when people fuck up my books, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get really
I
anal
don't-
about that shit.
Same here. I don't really like letting people borrow my stuff for that
Me
reason, you know.
neither,
And
dude.
it's not like anyone's doing that on purpose. It's like comic books especially, they're fragile. So you kind of, that could happen when you're reading it yourself, you know. Like you try to be better with your own shit, obviously, but yeah, I always use it as an excuse to be like, well, I guess I got to get the souped up version now. I might as well.
Yeah. No,
Might as well drop $100 on the absolute version now.
Yeah, I'm just particular. Honestly, like I think if you were to look at all my comic books because of like how well I keep them, you'd be like, dude, have you ever even opened this? And it's like I have. I just don't like fucking like bend the shit out of it, you know? Like
Yeah, no, and that's how I've always been. Like, well, for us, it was just the other day we're talking about like the toys we had when we were kids. But like my wrestling figures, I was able to sell a lot of them, especially because they were in good condition still. Like, despite them being wrestling figures, I still somehow kept a lot of them in great condition. Like, they didn't have scuff marks or anything. Like, I was playing around with them all the time as a kid, but like still, so like I'm like that with my stuff. You know, I try to be not necessarily careful, but just keep it in good condition.
exactly. You can't just be a brute and fucking like I hate when kids smash things together. Just drive me
Yeah.
crazy.
Have some class.
Yeah, seriously, you Philistines.
Even though you can't change your childhood now, you should have had some class.
go back.
Like me and Jake here.
Exactly.
Oh, something else I liked about the comic, I loved, and I think you would appreciate it too, is like how they incorporated script into it. Like the script format.
Yes.
The way, like, you know, there was like a montage of Clayface taking over, killing people, and like it would say begin montage, end montage, you know, interior, exterior. I love that so much.
Well, you know, what's also cool about that is that it's the girl's script.
Oh yeah, that's what you find out at the end. She's been writing the script, which you find out in the story. She's like, oh, I've started it 30 times and I still can't, you know, I've done 30 pages over and over and I still can't finish it. That's a nice little twist of the story too.
That's a cool little like because it's like one of his few friends. Like that scene when like it is raining and he's like I'm Clayface and the friend's like what the fuck at the party, you know, they freak out and then Batman pops out and whatnot.
Yeah, he says I'm Basil Carlo and the other guy's like, wait a minute, Clayface?
Yeah.
I like that. I like how like throughout the story, like the dialogue boxes, it either uses the script. Like sometimes words are highlighted, like, you know, like you find out at the end, like you're saying, she's typing the script, but also like when he's becoming Clayface, it starts to like curl up at the end, like his clay.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Come on. Like I love when comics change things like that.
Yes. Even in the beginning when he's like taking on different faces to like decide what face he's going to go out with. When he's just the puddle in the bathtub.
Yeah.
The voice is like, oh, Clayface, you know.
That's how I hear it. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, the art in this was sick. Like the way he would like shoot and take over people, you know what I mean? Like that was awesome.
Like when he goes to see like the big Hollywood dude and
the producer
like
of the television show.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And he's talking shit and then it's just the full page of him, his arm just going out and like boom. You feel it.
But like even like when he's talking to his friend when they're like overlooking Los Angeles and his friend gets the phone call and he's like, oh dude, I got the role.
Oh.
And he like just like the way he like almost like takes like he like absorbs them.
Yeah.
And like leaves their dead body and then like takes on their image. Like I thought that was so cool.
And when that happens, like when his friend, like you know something's about to happen before anything because when his friend turns around, the next panel is that he's already looks like him. He's kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
and then he straight up murks his ass.
Like I would follow a Clayface series like this Clayface going around the country, you know, like or still trying to like, you know, maybe it doesn't end this quickly, like an extended thing where he's like trying to make it in LA. Like there's so much there. I wish it wasn't just a one shot for real.
I agree, honestly. This comic, this one shot has a lot of potential for it to keep going. Yeah, I like him trying to make
these stories.
I like him trying to make it in LA as an actor. I would watch that.
Right? Like even as like, if that was like if the Batman, if Clayface is in 2 or the third one, if they make one, you know, I could see it like in a way that's like,
dude,
I don't know, could still work.
Imagine, like Matt Reeves the Batman tone with like this kind of Clayface. There could be like Basil Carlo is this crazy actor, and he's also like it'd be cool if he's almost already Clayface.
Yeah,
and Batman and him get to face off and shit.
Yeah, I want to see live action Clayface.
I do too.
You know,
It's time. It's time. He's one of the few villains that hasn't been brought to the big screen.
And it's a villain that you could get a lot of sympathy for, you know? Like, he's not just like, yes, he's a monster, but that's like the whole thing.
Also,
he doesn't want to
Clayface
be the monster.
Is the final boss battle in Batman Arkham City.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
Clayface is like he's a legit Batman threat.
Yeah, he is.
Physically, like, dude, Batman has a hard time fighting his ass.
Yeah, Clayface is no joke.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to put some respect on his name.
And it's funny that it's just like a failed actor who like is this clay monster.
What a bitter piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I gotta say, a huge fan of the last page.
Yes.
When he's back in Arkham and he's like spread himself to be the 8 people he's killed, and his face is just looking there. And he's like, I'm somebody. That was a cool point. Let me backtrack. When he's fighting Batman, he's like, I'm somebody. I'm everybody. And Batman's like, that means you're really nobody. He's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, such a great line.
Dude, it was such a great line. It was also such a Batman, like fuck you, Clayface. Like,
yeah.
And he's like, and then Clayface is like, my God, I ain't shit. But I like that because in the last scene, it shows like he is nobody. He's stretched down to 8 people. It's like he almost has no actual identity of his own.
Yeah, and it's also so weird because in a way it almost seems like he's trying to atone in the most fucked up way possible as well. Like he's having all the conversations he was having with them when they were alive.
Yeah, but he's just like rehearsing it over and over.
Oh yeah, there we go. I think that's better. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Cause he
like he's the one when his friend gets the part, he's like, oh, like I got it because of your advice. He's like, oh, I just needed to realize I just need to fake how I felt. And that's how that, you know, like Clayface is psychotic. That's why Clayface is doing that shit, you know?
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
it's
he does say that. He says, "Yeah, I just have to pretend like I can feel these things."
Yep.
And, yeah, because Clayface can. Like, he's actually like, he is a psycho. He's obviously a sociopath. Like, this dude doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
Damn.
Like, and yet you could still feel bad for him because you could relate to that whole chasing the dream in Hollywood and just, you know, the system eats you alive. Like, he really does give the performance. It's like, again, like the way it's written, it's like the characters in the story are like, oh, please, like we don't want to hear this shit. Like, and he's like, no, this is acting. And they shut down the production. They're like, fuck you. This is not how it works.
Yeah.
Like, but you're like, yes, you feel for him. And he's just like, that puts him over the edge. Like going back to what we were saying. Yeah. His one bad day, like to him, it's just because he couldn't, like he'll kill anybody to just try to get the role.
Yeah. Or
and just
you could even argue he'll kill anybody just to be somebody.
Well said. That's better.
Because you know what was cool? Going back to Batman Rebirth, is in those comics, Batman made him feel comfortable being able to walk around in his clay mud form, you know?
Yeah, you mostly saw Clayface like that.
Whereas like here, you see like if he gets angry and shit, he starts to like stress out and his skin like will start to like, you know?
Yeah, that's I feel like, you know, a common thing. Like in Detective Comics, like he was like rejuvenated and like the whole thing was like when he was coherent mentally that he could hold his form together.
Yeah.
And that he was like a solid personality that like he really befriends Orphan and like she helps him out.
That's a cool relationship.
Yeah, it's a really cool relationship. And then, you know, by the time Detective Comics run is over, he reverts back. Like, he can't hold himself together. He snaps. It's really sad. So I kind of, you know, I keep that as canon, but it's also just, like, such a cool way to do the character and a cool way to make Clayface, like, a good guy, you know? It's not that he doesn't want to be a good guy. He's just, like, one of those Batman villains that are just insane, and that's like, just his affliction.
Just like any good villain, like, I get it, you know? Like...
Yeah.
The best villains are the ones like you can relate to. It's like Clayface.
Yep. And One Bad Day is good at doing that with all the villains so far, I think.
Yeah, seriously. They all have had some terrible days.
I thought Catwoman's One Bad Day, while the story wasn't bad, her day didn't seem that bad. You know what I mean? I felt like her One Bad Day was like, all right, that wasn't terrible.
Wait, time out. Okay, I'm only having trouble because I read 3 Catwoman stories. I read that and then 2 others. So what happens in that one again? Her mom pawns something, right?
Yeah, it's like this weird. She like gets played by. Is it her mom? Like it's old. Yeah, like or maybe it's not her mom, but like
no, it is her
led
mom.
to believe it at first. It is, right?
Yeah, she pawns something and her baby with her little sister, and they have a bad relationship, right?
Yeah.
Or is that something else I'm thinking of?
No. It's like, it's like she's selling something, or she finds that something she had in her past was worth way more money. I don't know. It's like, it's not the worst bad day.
But then it turned out to be a fake.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Like, she gets played, but like,
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I feel like she gets.
I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, like Mr. Freeze loses his wife and shit. Like, like
yeah.
other villains have worse days, I think.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
I would say.
No, I agree completely. But yeah, I just thought this comic was all around sick. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's an instant buy. Go read it.
What are you gonna give it?
You know what? I have no problem saying this. Like, I don't think I had one negative thing to say about it, one negative thought while reading it. I'm giving it a 6.
I'm giving it a 6 as well.
Nice.
It's a very easy, well-earned 6.
Yeah, I think it's a
6.
Oh. It feels like a limp
almost
dick.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Very easy 6. It's short, sweet, bing, bang, boom. Good art, good story.
I don't even think we gave Riddler a 6, but that's not to say Riddler was bad or like this was just such a great one. It was just perfect. It might be my favorite one, you know?
I think, it's fun. Yeah, it's either between this or Riddler.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Like we said, all of them are great, but those are going to be the top of the list for us, for sure.
Which one I didn't care for is the Bane. I didn't care for Bane.
Bane was okay. Yeah, it wasn't one of my favorites.
But it wasn't one of my favorites.
I liked Two-Face and Mr. Freeze. Those were both pretty good.
Yeah. Penguins was okay. It wasn't too...
Oh, Penguin was good. Yeah, I like Penguins too.
Yeah. I wasn't too big on the art.
And I haven't read Ra's al Ghul yet. I need to
just
read that
finished
one.
it last night and I liked it.
Nice.
I liked it a lot. I like the art a lot. Like, no matter what the story is, the art is sick. So,
nice. Do you know the artist? I know Tom Taylor writes it. I don't know.
It was fucking dope.
Nice.
Loved my man Batman. Well, anyways, so yeah, easy 6-6. Guys, if you're listening, check this shit out. Go buy Clayface One Bad Day. Highly recommend it.
Yep.
And also check us out. Go to comicsandchronic.com or go to our Instagram or Twitter, Comics and Chronic. Say what up.
And wish Cody a happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Wish Cody a happy birthday. Give him some money. I love you.
Tell him the Men in Black sent you. He's going to be like, what?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, peace.
Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jake F.H.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics and Chronic. That's Comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo!
Peace.